Okay, hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Daily Word. Hello, 大家好，欢迎来收看 The Daily Word. Alright, so 今天是有点迟啊 but then it's okay. Never mind. Still have to go on. Alright, today we'll be reading Mark 7, chapter 7. 今天我们要读马可福音第七章 So okay, 37章节 Okay, let's go. That which defiles, that which defiles. The Pharisees and some of the teachers of the law who had come from Jerusalem gathered around Jesus, and saw some of his disciples eating food with hands that were defiled, that is unwashed. The Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they give their hands a ceremonial washing, holding to the tradition of the elders. When they come from the marketplace, they do not eat unless they wash, and they observe many other traditions such as the washing of cups, pitchers, and kettles. So the Pharisees and teachers of the law asked Jesus, "Why don't your disciples live according to the tradition of the elders instead of eating their food with defiled hands?" He replied, "Isaiah was right when he prophesied about you hypocrites, as it is written, 'These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They worship me in vain. Their teachings are merely human rules.' You have let go of the commands of God and are holding on to human traditions." And he continued, "You have a fine way of setting aside the commands of God in order to observe your own traditions. For Moses said, 'Honor your father and mother, and anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death.' When you say that if anyone declares that what might have been used to help their father or mother is korban, that is devoted to God, then you no longer let them do anything for their father or mother. You no longer do it. Thus you nullify the word of God by your tradition that you have handed down, and you do many things like that." Again, Jesus called the crowd to him and said, "Listen to me, everyone, and understand this. Nothing outside a person can defile them by going into them, whether it is what comes out of a person that defiles them." After he had left the crowd and entered the house, his disciples asked him about this parable. "Are you so dull?" he asked. "Don't you see that nothing that enters a person from the outside can defile them? For it doesn't go into their heart, but into their stomach, and then out of the body." Saying this, Jesus declared all foods clean. He went on, "What comes out of a person is what defiles them, for it is from within, out of a person's heart, that evil thoughts come. Sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance, and folly. All these evils come from inside and defile a person." Jesus honors a Syrophoenician woman's faith. Jesus left that place and went to the vicinity of Tyre. He entered the house and did not want anyone to know it, yet he could not keep his presence secret. In fact, as soon as she heard about him, a woman her little daughter was possessed by an impure spirit came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, born in Syrian Phoenicia. She begged Jesus to drive the demon out of her daughter. "First let the children eat all they want," he told her, "for it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs." "Lord," she replied, "even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Then he told her, "For such a reply you may go, the demon has left your daughter." She went home and found her child lying on the bed and the demon gone. Jesus heals the deaf and mute man. Then Jesus left the vicinity of Tyre and went through Sidon down to the Sea of Galilee and into the region of the Decapolis. There some people brought to him a man who was deaf and could hardly talk, and they began back Jesus to take his hand on him. After he took him aside away from the crowd, Jesus put his fingers into the man's ears, then he spit and touched the man's tongue. He looked up to heaven and with a deep sigh said to him, "Ephphatha," which means "be open." At this, the man's ears were opened, his tongue was loosened, and he began to speak plainly. Jesus commanded them not to tell anyone, but the more he did so, the more they kept talking about it. People were overwhelmed with amazement. He has done everything well, but they said, "He even makes the deaf hear and the mute speak." Amen. Alright. Okay. Okay. today is English or Chinese. No one saying, no one talking. So I'm gonna speak the English. I'm gonna speak the English. Okay. So this chapter actually, I think it means a lot to me lah. Like I wait, hold on. Yeah. So this chapter, I actually put a star symbol right here. Wait, okay. Yeah. So I actually put a star symbol right here to remind me, because I feel like there's just so much value I can get from this story, from this chapter. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is verse 6. Verse 6. These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. So I think it's the same thing. I think we talked about this before. Wait, hold on. I think we talked about this before. Like for example, like let me spice up the music a bit. Like when we are praising and worshiping in church, or we are praising and worshiping wherever we are. Wait, hold on. There be light. Yeah, when we are praising or worshiping wherever we are, or when we are when we are talking to people, when sharing the gospel and whatnot. Okay. Wait, honor me with their lips, but their hearts are from me. Yeah, I would say sharing the gospel can count as well, like, because we're also using our lips. So when we are preaching, when we are preaching and we are worshiping, praising, we are singing songs about Jesus, about our faith, and then when we are sharing the gospel as well, we tend to forget. I can say myself. I sometimes feel that my heart. What I'm saying is actually not from my heart; it's just from my head. Like I'm just doing this because everyone else is doing it. You know, it's not sincere. I feel that I can definitely feel that. So, yeah. Jesus is telling everybody, so really have to pay attention to this lah. Like when we are preaching, or we are singing, when we are praising God, make sure that it comes from the heart. It's sincere. Sometimes I know we don't really feel that, but then try to feel it. Try to feel the sincerity. Like I'm actually deeply grateful for what God has done for us, what Jesus has done on the cross for us, and yeah. But I would say, like, it can only be sincere. I think the only thing that we can only feel that is sincere when it's true testimony, like when we have our own testimony, like when we have our own experience of God, then that's when you feel sincere. But then when we have all those miracles that happens to us, all those testimonies, we hold tight onto them and never let go of the testimonies, because small or big testimonies doesn't matter. It's you never know, a small testimony or something that small can actually affect someone else, can actually change someone else's life. Yeah, so we hold on to all the testimonies. Write it down. For me, I wrote it down. I'm not sure if I can disclose to you guys, but I guess I try to read out some of the testimonies that I actually pinned on my notes, so I can remember it every time. So one of them, a few of them I can mention is like from the Raja shoot, the shoot that I've done for they call it Right Raja, and Raja, I'm not sure yet, but then yeah, it's a movie about James Brooke. So I feel like that right there is a very big miracle for me, even though it's a very tiring experience. But then I really feel blessed when I got the opportunity to shoot the behind the scenes of the film, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, like how often can you get a chance to shoot behind the scenes of a film, like especially people in Kuching, yeah, like actual Hollywood film, not like Malaysian film, yeah. So it's cool, and then I remember shooting for 5 days straight, every day from early morning to night, and then different projects, 3 projects. I remember moving to and 4 projects, 5 days straight, no rest. The only resting is at night. Yeah, so I remember I prayed every day to make sure that I'm awake I can continue to shoot. And like something as small as like having a great relationship with my brother, have being able to talk to my brother, or like having a new cousin, a new family member in our a new family member. Mount Kinabalu, like me struggling to climb Mount Kinabalu, like that's a definitely a miracle for me. Yeah, I never know that I've been. I don't I never thought that I'm able to climb Mount Kinabalu, but not to the top, but at least like climb Mount Kinabalu with least experience. Yeah, so yeah, miracles like this will actually make you feel more wholeheartedly when you're preaching, or when you are like sharing the gospel. Yeah, when you are doing um when you are um when you're honoring God lah, when you're honoring God, honoring Jesus. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so they worship me in vain. Their teachings are merely human rules. So yeah, human rules is the thing that we should yeah, we really have to know the difference between human rules and the rules, the rule above all. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so other than that, verse 15, nothing outside a person can defile them by going into them, whether it is what comes out of a person that defiles them. It's a very good verse that we can print it out, stick it to a refrigerator or whatnot. Yeah. So I think this is a parable, huh? And then after that Jesus did came. I think we go with this one. Where is it? What comes out of a person is what defiles them. Defiles meaning it defines them. Huh? Let's find the proper. Wait. Or damage. Damage the purity of or appearance of. Damages them. For it is from within, out of a person's heart, that evil thoughts can come. Yeah. So and then from verse 18, don't you see, nothing that enters a person from the outside can defile them. So I the closest example from this is like it's like the quote, what was it, I'm like, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. But then words words can actually in a way kill us. But okay, there's some truth. There's a so from this verse, like we can actually put put an end to that quote in a way lah. So okay, from outside, what's outside? From the outside is the word, the words of people, like condemning us, bullying us, or like doing bad things upon us. So what we do with that information in the end is what defiles us from what Jesus has said. It's true. I read about this from my other books as well. So I mean, from the other books, it's actually from the Bible lah. Okay, so we have the decision to choose whether we want to accept that word, or respond to that word. What our actions, our next actions, it all comes from us. Okay, but receiving them is inevitable. People can talk whatever they want. People can just, so when we receive them, do we respond to them? What's our plan of action that defiles us? Because in the Bible, it also says like Jesus was tempted, but then he did not sin. So same thing, like other things tempting us, like when it comes to sexual immorality, deceit, or what, envy, arrogance. These are all temptations. So when the temptations come, like when you have suddenly, like on social media, Facebook, whatever, you came across someone who is like very revealing or whatnot, temptations come. You're not sin. You haven't sinned yet. The next action is the sin. Like after seeing that, what you do next? You have like yellow thoughts, or you have there's a having the thoughts is actually quite I don't know how to explain, like here, oh yeah, so from okay, so from here then I'll from this side. Oh yeah, okay, so from verse 21, for it is from within, out of a person's heart, that evil thoughts come. So so yeah, from our hearts, if yeah, like I mentioned in like previous episodes, if our hearts is not stable, if we don't have a center in our hearts, then how are we expect to be still when we are being shaken, you know? Yeah, so the same thing applies here. So yeah, if we are not stable in our hearts, then evil thoughts can easily come to us, to our heads. So we really have to pray hard, and then pray then for the Holy Spirit to be upon us, to help us deal with our temptations and not dwell into the temptations. Yeah. So yeah, in the end, the decision is still in us, like whether we decide. Our decision defines who we are. Our actions define who we are, not yeah. So yeah, okay. Where is it? From inside and defile. Yeah. So verse 23. All these evils come from inside and defile a person. Right. So verse 27. For verse 27. For it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. I'm not sure about this in a way. Like sometimes I was being brought up like how's that? Not eating all the things that I wanted. We were eating things that our parents wanted. Like we're eating healthy, or we were being okay, wait, hold on. Wait. Let the children eat all they want. All they want. Okay. I think from here is, if the children wants to eat more, not what they want, eat more, then you let them eat, instead of like feeding feeding others, feeding dogs first before your kid, or like instead of your kid, so you don't feed your kid at all, you know. I don't know who how many parents in the world are doing that, but then there are some who are like from abusive families, which they want to teach you a lesson that they don't let you eat. Like that's not the way, man. Like I cannot really bring it now. Like how can some parents don't give food to their kids when they are hungry, when they are asking for food? So it's from here already. So that's like it's a very big sin, definitely. Even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. Even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. Remember Pastor did mention this before. I kind of forgot already. Even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. Let's move on. Yeah. Oh yeah. So before I go on, is yeah. So if your kid wants to eat more, then you don't stop them eating. Especially when they have their when they're going through puberty. Yeah. So let them eat all they want. And we can advise them to not eat too much. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, this is the last one. Okay. So verse 36, Jesus commanded them not to tell anyone, but the more he did so, the more they kept talking about it. So from here we can see that I think it actually happens to all of us, every one of us. Like when someone tell us, don't tell anyone, the more we tell someone, the more they will tell people, you know. So it applies to each and every one of us. I can say even me myself. I confess. I'm gonna confess now that I actually do that as well. We all did. Like when someone tell you, don't tell this to anyone, yeah. But then the more they tell you, the more you are gonna tell it everyone else. Okay. So it's the same thing. People were overwhelmed with amazement. He has done everything well. They said he even makes the deaf hear and the mute speak. But then the thing is, Jesus wasn't mad at them. Jesus didn't say that Jesus was mad. Or maybe the next chapter, right? Let me check the next chapter. Yeah, okay. So Jesus didn't mention that he was mad at them. So, but then it's still unlawful to do that lah. To like tell tell people when you tell them specifically not to tell people. It's like reverse psychology. So you not to touch that. You wanted to touch that, you know. Yeah. So yeah, you really have to learn from this like from telling people's secrets. You have to have that sense of like, oh, this person is going to tell someone else if you're telling them. Like for example, if I'm doing this live stream, I'm publicly speaking to you guys. I have to understand the what's that, the possibility of what I'm saying sharing out, because it's already out. So from there we will how to say, we adjust in a way of the things that we talk. Maybe if it's too private or if it's something that's very hard to disclose, then you really have to think thoroughly within yourself first before you sharing out lah. Yeah, or you pray about it first. Pray to God to whether should you share it out or not. Or you can use another way which the secret is not very detailed, and then tell it out to people in the hopes of like of them how to say, if they were to share it out, then it would be something very brief. Yeah, but yeah, this is like the more he did so, the more they kept talking about it. Yeah, but then this is a good news. This is a good news from Jesus. But then so you have to see. Have to really think about it first, or we can come back to this. Really think about it. Why is it like this? You know. Yeah, because or is it Jesus wanted them to feel that they shouldn't tell? Like, yeah, have to really think thoroughly about this. But yeah, so yeah, when you are so the next time when you hear like people saying that don't tell this to anyone, then you really have to be paying attention, or like you know, then you know right now that it's quite unlawful to do that, to like share out people's secret. You know, I'm not saying that all of you guys will do that, but then some of us do. Some of us, maybe a lot of us do. Like when someone tells us their secret, then we want to share that. Hey, you know that time that whatever, then don't tell anyone don't tell them that I tell you, you know. Yeah, this kind of thing, it happens a lot to a lot of us. Yeah, but then if they didn't tell you that, then it's okay to tell others lah. Yeah, but yeah, just keep in mind whatever that you're sharing out to people. Like that's why social media, when you share too personal details, it's actually not that good. So we really have to filter out the things that we talk. It's the same thing. When we are filtering our contents out on social media, we have to filter our words coming out from our mouth as well. Yeah, so yeah, and it all starts with the heart. All starts with the heart into our minds, right? So I guess that's it. No. Yeah. I have a comment from my mom, but the comment is not in my video, in the stream. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's it for today. Yeah, I found this format to be not too bad. I actually did read through the chapter first before doing this show, so it's quite easy for me to pinpoint which part do I want to say. So you can keep it into 30 minutes. Yay! Unless I keep on talking lah. Yeah. So at least I have a brief idea of what am I gonna talk about in the next episode. Yeah, so it's great. It's great. Yeah, should do this. Yeah, should keep on this format, and then so that I have more knowledge on like what am I talking about lah, instead of like reading it with you guys first, then breaking it down together. But then yeah, whatever works, right? So this chapter we've learned about honor Jesus with our hearts, not with our lips, and then we have to make sure be alert about the human rules, not to differentiate human rules with the word of God, right? With God's rules, right? Commandments, rules. Yeah, okay. And then nothing outside a person can defile them, but what comes out of a person that defiles them. Yeah, so nothing outside can destroy us. It's called destroy. I mean, people can hurt you, but yeah. So let's say affect us. Yeah. Well, what's the definition for defile? Let me see. Okay. Defile. Damage the purity of or appearance. Damage the purity. Damage the purity and appearance. Purity meaning our faith. Shake our faith lah. Shake our faith and shake us inside. Yeah, okay. Nothing outside can affect us inside. If our insights are with the right principles, the right principles, and then don't take your food away from your kid. Make sure they have enough food. Make sure if they want food, they just give it to them. But also have to filter lah. Yeah. So I'm gonna elaborate more about that later. Okay, so keeping secrets. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Like you know who you're sharing your secrets with. Right. Okay, so when it comes to the children having food, right? So I was brought up by my mom being able to eat everything that everything, like not being a picky eater. I say I love that. I really love how my mom brought me up. So like everything that everything that people actually suggested me to eat, like some even some stuff that are so difficult for some people to eat, it's actually like for me it's okay. But of course there are definitely some like a few things that I don't really love to eat, like when it comes to like chicken livers, but other than that, it's like everything is alright. Like so the difficult ones I can still eat. Yeah, the difficult ones I can still eat, and then the how to say yeah, I can't really know. I don't really know what are the foods that I don't really eat, because like there's just a lot of food. Like sometimes people ask me, what do you want to eat? Like they when they suggest, I say anything. I really mean anything. I don't mean like I want to eat sushi, I want to eat like sashimi or whatnot. For me, as long as it's full, as it makes me full, or like I still have some preference, but then like I'm actually good with anything. Like right now, right, I'm actually I would say I'm practicing in a way, or like I'm doing this. I've been cooking omelets for the past few days, and I really loving it. Like just eggs with chopped onions and garlic, and then what do you call it, like long beans, and then cheese. Yeah, so that has been my breakfast all this while, and then it has been great. It's very cheap, and then it's organic. Yeah, it's organic, and then I use a few butter, which is alright. I don't feel fat lah actually. and I don't feel like very oily. But then yeah, it's great. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So. What was my point? Oh, okay. So, I think in a way, I for me to eat the same thing every day, it makes my life simpler. I know what I'm gonna eat every day in the morning, so I don't have to decide, oh, what am I gonna eat tomorrow, what am I gonna eat, but it's all the same as long as it doesn't taste bad, tastes alright, then I'm good with it. Like before that it was pancakes, and pancakes was awesome. Yeah, sometimes it tastes bad, but then yeah, I got used to it, and it makes me um be focus more on the frying pan more, so it makes me easy to fry stuff next time. Yeah. So yeah, I seriously not sure how did my mom brought me up like this, like being able to eat a lot of stuff, like not being a very picky eater. I guess not. I seriously not sure how it works. I think it's because when we are small, we don't care what we eat as long as there's it's food, or like we don't mind giving a try, I guess. Yeah, I seriously don't know, but then I really love that. I really have to sit down and talk to my mom about this. Maybe when I have a kid or what, then I go and ask her about it. But yeah, it's something to let you guys keep in mind, keep an eye out, be alert about, like if you have like a newborn kid, then you can try. I'm telling you that there's a possible way of like helping them to eat everything, and then not be picky about it, and then not be picky about it, and then just be very simple with their lives, like don't have to like, if let's say for example, if I go over to the United States, there's no rice there, then I can easily survive. And if I go to China, there's no Western food, I can still survive as well. But some people, they need rice in their life. The rice is their life, Yeah. So yeah, so sometimes I don't really understand why they don't eat certain foods, because I feel like it's alright, like it's not too bad. Yeah. But I guess it's just the way I've been brought up. That's why. So I don't really know how they feel when they don't like some food, or like maybe a simple food, like bread. They cannot eat bread because I wasn't brought up eating bread. Yeah. So yeah, just something to share with you guys. Alright. So thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for watching the stream. And yeah. Yesterday was Mother's Day, right? Or today is Mother's Day. I'm a bad kid though. Oh, tomorrow. Alright, I still have time. Yes. Okay. So for all the mothers tomorrow, make sure, for all the kids tomorrow, the children's tomorrow, make sure to say Happy Mother's Day to your mom tomorrow. And then we'll see you tomorrow. Can I do a Mother's Day special? Probably do another separate video with my mom. Brainstorm. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it out to your friends, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.